Hey guys, if anybody saw the little betta video I put up first, you know I have to move. So I thought I would document the fish I'm taking with me. So most of them are now in community mixed bag tanks. I do have at least 2 of the red-tailed eels that are going with me. There's my albino Corey, and that's the oldest fish I have in the fish room. He's probably 8, I would say. There's some rainbows in here. There's some random community fish that just didn't get caught to go to the other home, and I'll probably just take them with me. There's a platy strain. I only have the one, and I'm keeping those. There's a Gadaeid strain in here. There's a pair of, let's pull it back out so you can see better. There's a pair of Carbensis in here. There is a pair of, Epistromas in here. I saw both the male and the female yesterday, so I'm optimistic they're both still in here. Most of the fish have been upset because they've been moved multiple times in a short period of time. I've got some gobies. There he is. A couple of different species of gobies that are in here that are going. You can kind of see a pleco tail in there. That one's going with me. Yeah, there's my red-tailed eel. Oh, if you shop Dan's Fish and you ever see these, get them. They're amazing. But if you ever have to move them, they burrow into the dirt. Just as an FYI. I lost one because I found him outside where I had been taking the substrate and dumping it outside in my backyard, the little backyard in the place I rent. And yeah, I was kind of spreading it out and I was like, okay, that's something alive and squirming. I ended up losing him. He had just lost too much of his slime coat, but I gave him a chance. He made it about 36 hours, but he passed away. I felt really bad, but I didn't realize they would burrow like that. I found the other one that was burrowed, and I was able to get him out really quickly. And it's possible he's still in here. I only see the 2 at a time, so it's possible I lost the other one. I just hadn't found a body, so you never know. Because they do put themselves in these pleco caves, not just plecos, but you'll find the eels in the caves. In the smaller ones and the larger ones, so it could be in a cave. But there's some rainbows in here. There's a few of my Corys in here that are going. There's Gadaeid species in here. The plan is and I'm taking the 33 long tank in its stand. This is the 29 gallon. This is also now essentially a community tank. What it was my baby platy. They're blue calico platies I got from Dan's Fish. I just thought they were beautiful. So they're in grow out. So I have some babies in here. There's also a different Gadaeid species that's in here. Don't ask me which ones they are. I don't remember. A couple of my Compressiceps got in here. There's another couple in another tank and 4 more in another tank. So they will have their own tank. There's also baby Carbensis in here along with the parents. There's a grown Episto in here. There is, I think, another rainbow or 2 in here. There's some Corydoras in here. It's just a mishmash. So far, they're hanging in there. There's a bunch of plants. I just water changed them a couple of days ago. So they seem to be doing okay. I know it's a weird mishmash. And I think the Gadaeids are a little warmer than they need to be. So I've got the top off so they don't get too hot. But yeah, it's a mishmash. But so far, aside from 1 or 2 that died, and I think it was more from the stress of being moved a couple of times before they finally got dumped in a weird tank, they've been doing okay. My Oscars are going, as is this 100-gallon stock tub. There's Lucy. Hey, girl. I don't know if she's a female or not. People say vet them. Doesn't do any good for me. I can't tell. But Lucy and Ricky are here. She's the albino, and he's the, I guess, dark-colored one. Sometimes you can't really... Hey, Lucy. I'll feed you a little bit, girl. I know. Hey. I love the toss. There he is. There's my... Hey, buddy. Hey, Ricky. Like I said, they've never... they're probably 8 now, 7 or 8. So if they were going to... I think if they were going to spawn, they would have done it already. So I think they're probably the same gender, but they've been together all of their lives, and I cannot separate them. Because Oscars, the bigger fish, they're your pets. I've had them since they were probably 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches from a PetSmart. And I've grown them up. And unless I found somebody who would take them as adults and keep them together, I'm not going to separate them. But they will end up outside, probably in a 100-gallon stock tub, or I might I'm gonna look at, when I get there, picking up a 300-gallon stock tub, and then maybe one of those long galvanized steel ones for the rainbows outside, because it's so longer and the rainbows really need more swimming space than this kind of 100-gallon stock tub is. And I think these guys would like a 300. Plus I've got a common pleco, and I know the common pleco would like the 300. Right now I have the rest of the Compressiceps colony in here. You can't see them because they're under stuff. And then over here, these little 5 gallons I'm going to take with me too, just so I'll have them as little emergency tanks. This is my Embellus and my Kachina bettas that are going with me. And over here, you can't see, it's another 100-gallon stock tub. I'm going to take it with me as well. Outside there is a kind of a teardrop shaped 50-gallon pond that I'm planning to dig a little hole and set up at Mom's house outside. And then there's also, I'll put the 2 stock tubs outside, and I want to get either a 300-gallon stock tub or one of those, like I said, one of those long galvanized ones that's sort of like 6 feet long for my rainbows, because they'll be outside too. But in here are my is my colony of rainbow cichlids, and I don't know anybody wants them. I'd show them to you, but you can't really see them in the tub, and they don't actually have any kind of light. But there's, most of my crap is gone. I'm taking the wood with me so I can. I might not. I don't know if I'm gonna set the stock tubs up on a little bit above ground, or if we'll leave them on the ground. Anyway, but I've got some of my rocks left. There's a bunch outside. There's a couple more like mini ponds outside that I'm going to, like 10 or 20 gallon planters that I'm going to take with me, because I'll separate the betta colony into their 2 separate, the Embellus species and the Kachina also have the falx, and I will separate out the falx and put them out there. The other fish that are coming with me in the tank is in here. This is a standard 40-gallon, not a 40 breeder. I'm thinking that the Shelleys will go in this, and the Compressiceps, I'll build a couple of rock mountains on one side and the other, and probably a couple of smaller ones kind of to help the Shelleys divide their territory. Put the colony in here and put the Compressiceps over them, because they're both like Tanganyika. It may be tall enough to do that. If it's not, I'll come up with a plan B. And I've got the plants going, plus I've got immersed growth that I've had going for a while. I have a couple of betta splendens. This is the mama of the baby. She's in here. The falx parents are in here. This has got a different species of Godaids. It's got my mutt Endler colony in here. And random other fish that are in here. So when I get to Alabama, I will separate into tubs the Godaid species, and then there's a couple other species in here that are really not enjoying having friends. There's some gobies in here. You can't really see them, but they're in here. And I love this fish, but this fish is ticked off. It's hiding, it's not happy. I'm just hoping it'll make it 2 months and I can put it in its own little tank. It's a beautiful fish. Got it from Dan's Fish, and I've completely forgotten its Latin name. It's gorgeous, but it's not really happy, and I can't do anything about it right now. Most of these in this tank are doing okay. Like I said, they've got a massive amount of plant growth out the top and inside. There's also some more plecos in there that I'm taking. Like I said, there's Endler colony. There's gobies in here. There's all kinds of fish in here. Oops, that's not helping at all, is it? Oops, sorry. This is my 40 breeder. It's probably not going home with me because I just have a limited amount of space I can put stuff in, unless I take the 40 and the 40 breeder, and the 40 breeder is what I put Tater in. And that might be what I put Tater in, because the other person I know with the humpback dragon puffer is Dan from Dan's Fish. His is named Mouth, and Mouth lives in a 40, I believe. So Tater might like the 40 better. It would be shallower, but he'd have more swimming space. So he may get this 40 breeder, and I give the 229s away. But this is the rest of my Shelley colony that I'm taking with me, my multis. Yeah, I've kind of been watching the tank. It started to get a little bit of this weird moldy fungusy stuff that grows sometimes on the bottom of the tank when it's older and you disrupt it's the substrate got disrupted some because I gave about 30% of the colony away because they had kind of outgrown the 40 breeder. So I'm going to keep this group, kind of looking at them. But there's like different levels of adulthood in here. There's, you know, the grown-ups, then there's some smaller, sorry, you can't see because I have been leaving. But then there's these guys, and there's some younger ones, and there's a few tiny ones in here. So the colony is still doing okay. It's not really happy about the way I separated it, but it's doing pretty good. And then I said I might take the 40 and the 240s, the 240s along with me, and then get rid of the 229s. This is Tater's home. This is Thaddeus Tater. He's my humpback dragon puffer. You want to come out and say hello? Come on, buddy. Yeah, he's got all kinds of, I've let the black-bearded algae grow and all that because I can't really, the plants don't do well in here, so I've let I was hoping the black-bearded algae would grow to, you know, help with the nitrates, all that crap. It doesn't have nitrites, but, you know, breaking down waste anyway. But that's Tater. He's waiting for me to feed him. And I love Tater. He's going home with me. I have somebody who will take him from me in a minute, but we're taking Tater home. And he'll probably go home in one of those bigger, like a 10-gallon tote that's dark on the outside by himself. He might be okay in a bucket, but he might do better with a little bit more space. Although he is an ambush predator, he just kind of sits and waits till the cubes drop on top of the... You could come out, buddy. Yes, you could. He also have plants growing out of the top of his tank too. Come here, come outside and say hello. Oh. He's like, I don't believe you have anything. I don't see any bloodworms hit the top. It's going to show you Tater. Anyway, Tater's coming for sure. Love my Tater. And then we have, this is Mary. Say hello, Mary. Yeah, she's like, yeah, whatever. This is Mary. She's one of my kitties. She comes home with me, obviously. And then this is Artemis over here. Hart's the extremely fat cat. They had to weigh him on the dog scale. So needless to say, he's on a diet, which means everybody is. And the orange one is Sherlock. I don't know where Molly is. She may be, oh, here's Molly. Here she is. This is my Molly. She's my 3-footed cat. She was born with only 3 feet. She's a flaming mean little bugger when she wants to be. And then I have another cat upstairs, Autumn, and Autumn is coming with me as well. So yeah, those are the fish and the cats that are all coming home with me. But yeah, I really love my Shelleys. I really annoyed that the tank has got this really crappy, fungusy, moldy crap on the bottom. That annoys me. I've had it in other tanks, but it's usually when they're old. And I've messed up a lot of the substrate mix because it had lasagnaed out and it had an anaerobic layer under here. Oops, sorry. So when I moved stuff around and gave some of the fish away and pulled out a lot of the shells, I think I disrupted the layer. So I'll dig that out so they don't have that gunk in there with them. But yeah, Shelleys. Okay, I have literally rambled on an unbelievably long and stupid amount of time. So I will end with a better look at a tank. Yay. I just love mud endlers. I don't like the guppies as much as I do the endlers because I just feel like the guppies' tails, when they get so big, the guppies don't swim that well. So I just love a mixed ender colony, and I've got all kinds. Like tigers and I don't know. I think they're pretty, and they throw all kinds of crazy stuff. So just going to keep myself in endler colony. I can almost put up something like I've seen Tanner from Serpa Design do. I will definitely have immersed growth plants coming out of the top to use those as filtration, like he does a lot on some of his outdoor ponds in the summer. So yeah, I'm shutting up now. It's almost 15 minutes. So if you made it this long, oh, there's some more coolies. Look at that. Coolie loach sighting. Should have seen me digging those coolie loaches out of the 20-gallon that they were in. I didn't know. I just kept digging them and digging them and digging them. I'm like, hey, there's another coolie loach. There's another coolie loach. I had no idea how many were left. I think I ended up with 10 out. It's just not bad. think at one point I had 12, so 10 is probably pretty good. And then I have a couple in a few other tanks, so I'll probably end up with 12 or 15 of them when I get them all back to Alabama. And coolies are just fun.